disappointing. Hey y'all, and welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach. Jen will be here in a minute, but right now it is time to harvest this garden. So Wyatt and I just got done doing chores this morning. The sun's not out just yet, but we are actually getting sun today. As you can tell by this grass up in here, it has been just rain on rain on rain, which is good. It's a good thing. We've had some severe storms roll through, but thankfully nothing with any too much of damage. Besides Mexican sunflower, which you already knew that, but everything else has been fine. But this garden is blowing up in growth, and I wanted to show you all that pumpkin area that I told y'all to remember this walkway. I want you to see it, man. Freaking bugs. It's the one thing about being so wet and humid. There are bugs everywhere, even when it's early. Shoo. All right, let me show you the pumpkins, and let's get to harvesting. So this isn't even the pathway. This is actually the bigger pathway. Look at them all starting to roll out here. But look, this is the pathway you all saw. It's a lot different now. You can't even walk through it anymore. Man, it's a jungle, but I love it. So it's not gonna be a huge harvest today. I've already checked out the tomatoes. Still got a lot of green ones. Ain't got none turning just yet. But like our tomatoes, see, here's two things that you'll notice within a garden. These tomatoes are so tall. Like they're so much taller than they normally are at this time of year. I count a lot of that for the rain that we've had. So we've got some really big, healthy tomatoes. But one thing that you'll notice, if your plant is focusing a lot of its energy on the plant growth itself, that means your fruit may be a little bit behind. It's not behind in a negative way, it's just behind from what you're used to, because the energy is going into growing the plant and not so much the fruit. That'll be slowing down as we start drying up a little bit. It'll start be putting that energy into the fruit and not so much of the growth. The good thing with having this focused on the plant, the bigger the plant, the more support and the bigger the tomatoes that you're gonna get. So we're okay on this delaying a little bit for all those big tomatoes we're gonna get. But they are, as you can tell, now we're in a raised bed, but they are, I'm about 6 foot, 6'1" on a good day, already past me. So they are very, very tall tomatoes. And we do have a lot of green ones. They're just little and they're getting there. I can wait for that. One thing that is focusing on the fruit or the bloom is my zinnias. Look at these, y'all. They are everywhere and they are beautiful. So we'll be making Jen a very pretty bouquet out of all of these. The hollyhock fell over, that daggone thing, but the zinnias are here. Okay, enough talking. I mean it. Let's get harvested now. That's bad.
That's a lot of green beans. That's a 5-gallon bucket. And it's up to here. And somewhere in here there's scissors that Zach said he needs to cut some flowers. So I need to start looking for those. Okay, he said it's not just green beans. So we're gonna dump it into the sink and just try to wash them and see what else is in here. Basically, I don't know. Okay, so there's more cucumbers. There's some ground cherries. It's exciting.
There's one. Whew. Well, that escalated quickly. I am itchy. I had to go get all that stuff off me. Mosquitoes eating me alive. However, we got a lot of food. A lot of food. So primarily it was squash, zucchini, cucumbers, a couple ground cherries, and a whole bunch of green beans from our bush bean. I don't know if Jed caught it in that clip, but because I was sitting there pulling green beans for a while. But there was a bunch of little yellow, smushy, black spike thingies all over the green beans. So those are actually called the Mexican bean beetle, and that was in its like not complete larvae state, but like I guess you would almost say teenage years, because they turn out and they start looking a lot like a ladybug, but their circles are a lot bigger. They're black circles on their shell, but at the beginning they look like little yellow circles, and they're in bunches, and they have little black spike things on them. That's gonna eat alive our green beans. But I'm glad we had a good harvest this round. We should still be able to get another one, and then we have a lot of pole beans in a different area that should help us out to make us have plenty of green beans for the year. It's one of those things. If you're not spraying pesticides, it's tough to keep all the bugs away. Where they are soft-sided and they're very, very small, Nemo would work at the baby stage, BT would work in the teenage stage, and then you'd have to move to over to the DE once they get that hard shell, because the DE is going to work. But those stuff will help. It's just there are so many of them, it's tough to keep them on down. But that was a good harvest. That escalated, didn't it, babe?
Yeah,
a little bit.
All right, me and Ray Ray are about to start snapping because we've got to get these green beans canned today. So we've washed them. We've got our strainer here, our bowl for our green beans that we're going to snap, and then our bag for our ends that we'll give to the animals and the chickens. So we need to get started. Okay, Zach's outside mowing and getting all that done, and I'm in here washing eggs. I've been doing this for like an hour and a half now. We had a lot of eggs to wash, and it's that day, which comes like every 2 weeks. So I've still got those. I've washed all these, and then I've still got some eggs over there on the counter. So that's what I've been up to. Oh, and I got the green beans snapped. So that's a pretty big bowl. I think we'll can them. I'm not totally sure yet. I know there's just a little bit left over that didn't fit into this bowl. But I know we're gonna eat some, and then we'll see after that if it's enough to can. So I think that took me total 2 hours, and I've already started packaging some. I've got 3, 6, 9, 10 dozen over there already, and then this is what's left. We'll see how many it comes out to be, but 30 minutes ago I literally sold my last 3 dozen, so this was good timing. Glad I did this. It just took a while. I only dropped 1 on the ground and 1 in the sink, so that's pretty good. Usually there's way more casualties than that. Okay, finally got the eggs all done, put in cartons. That's 21 dozen eggs. I know that sounds crazy, but we will sell those within the next week or 2. Just honestly depends on how many days we're here and how many days we're open, but we sell a lot of eggs. A lot for the Airbnb, a lot for local customers, a lot for people who just stop in. Eggs is a big thing, so we do go through them. We collect every day, and we're always washing, always selling, always rotating. It's just part of one of the things that we sell in the store that does really, really good. I'm not saying there's a huge profit on it, because we still keep our eggs at $3 a dozen, which is way too cheap, but it's something that we can do for our community. Their chickens are going to be here either way, and they're going to lay eggs. So if we can sell them for way cheaper than the store and way cheaper than anyone else, it seems to move them, and people have access to free range farm fresh eggs. For these green beans, we're going to eat some for dinner, probably some more for dinner tomorrow. And then we'll see how many we have left after that. And I might can them, might freeze them. We'll see. For right now, I'm just going to get them in bags. I'm not going to can because it's already late today. We'll get them in bags, eat some for dinner, and see how many's left. And then Zach also found, I don't know if you can see or not, but it's blackberries. Some were ready. So that's really exciting. They're usually ready around July 4th here. So we're going to wash those up and have those for a good snack. I have these eggs left over. These 3 were way too big to put in cartons, and then these 3 were just extra. So I'm actually going to hard boil those, and we'll just have those to grab for snacks or for breakfast. So that's next. And then I have to tackle, well, first that mess, second this. I gotta figure out what I'm doing, but first of all, it can't stay here. This isn't a good spot, so it needs to be moved and organized. Sink cleaned up, that moved. I've got my jars back over here. That's for our milk. I don't love it, but we milk every day, so that is what it is. We got our blackberries all washed and got them in a bowl. I need to put my eggs in the Instant Pot to boil them. Cleaned up all that mess. This is my new egg bowl, so I always just clean it and put it back so that when they come in the morning, they put all the eggs in here. Got all the produce over here organized, and then all of that stuff is going down to our store. So don't worry about that. It'll be gone. Eggs will be in the fridge. Here's our produce. I've got our green beans in the fridge, and we have all the produce that we need for probably 2 weeks, and we'll have more coming in.
Okay, what a day. I've gotten everything mowed and all that good stuff, and she's been busier and fire up here in this kitchen. So you had how many dozen eggs?
21.
21 dozen eggs. She just made us dinner. Quick and easy one. And then she hard boiled what was left, which looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 6 eggs, and then I went and gave her more stuff to put on her counter. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 really good sized cabbages that did not get ate up. Pretty excited about it. Just
yeah. Work. So I took off the outer leaves, where all the bugs and stuff were. Washed them up real good, and now I'm gonna let them air dry until I wrap them up and put them in the fridge. So I don't want to wrap them up when they're wet. There was some worms, not many, but
hey, for being July, yeah. Pretty good. One thing about cabbage, it can last for a good while in the fridge, but we will most likely make some kraut out of this because we love sauerkraut. But it's not, that doesn't have priority over all the other stuff right now.
All the leaves are going to the animals.
Yeah, the leaves down here. And we had one cauliflower that just didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
But it'll make the cut for the animals. So Bessie will be really happy.
Yep.
Good work today, babe. Egg juices. Bessie! Bessie! Happy animals. Loving some cabbage leaves. All right, it is the next day, and it has been a heck of a couple homestead days that we've had here. So yesterday, as you all saw, was big with the gardening, big with harvesting, getting stuff prepared and ready for a big preserving season. I think it's gonna be a big time. I was checking the tomatoes again. We got a couple that are starting to blush this morning. But today, it's been all about the store and getting our tinctures bottled up. So we know a lot of people have been requesting, and if you've made it this long in the video, you get first dibs, and you're loyal. We can see it because you're watching till the end. So, tell them the ones that we have gotten ready.
Yeah, so we have a few. These aren't new, but they're back in stock. Our lavender, which is awesome. It's really good for sleeping. It's really good for calming you down. It's good for your scalp and skincare. It's one of the favorites that people love.
A lot of people have been asking about Chill Out. That one's not back in stock, but lavender is part of Chill Out.
Yes.
So if you are wanting that Chill Out tincture, this one works.
Yeah. Our nettle leaf, which is really good for arthritis, gout, any kind of pain relief, achy joints. What was the other? I already said arthritis, never mind.
Eczema though, right?
Yeah, eczema too. I'm losing my mind. But
everybody
loves nettle. It's really, really good for you. And then allergy and sinus, which is one of our super tinctures that everyone loves. And now we've got a whole bunch more back in stock. It's just great for you all around, any time of year, but especially right now.
And then by the time this video is out there, these other 2 gallons will be done, because this is how we do it. So we got them in a gallon jar here filling up. So we have the elderberry that will be ready, and then the hibiscus. Yeah. Hibiscus will be ready. So elderberry, everybody knows that one. It's immune boosting, it's awesome. Hibiscus is another really good one that a lot of people have became a fan favorite of. And all of those will be back in stock. It takes a whole day to get all these done. So that's what today's been
Sometimes
about.
2 days.
Yeah, because we have a bunch more still to go. There's probably at least 12 more gallons that are ready to be done. So just keep an eye on it. Today, these are the 5 that got done. But every day, we'll just keep pumping out more of them.
Yeah, and don't forget, we have our teas back in stock too, so check them out while you're there.
Just all the things. Just check out all the things, you know? All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed these couple wild homesteading days. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button.
We love you.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.